namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. So friends, a number of people who watch my videos, a number of you are not subscribed. The ratio is the people who watch my videos who have subscribed are roughly about 40%. And those people who are regular viewers and have not subscribed to my channel, almost 60%. So friends, if you regularly watch my videos, please subscribe to my channel because you have access to my videos, because when you are regularly watching some videos, even when you're skipping some, YouTube keeps bumping up those videos in front of you when you get into YouTube. However, they are not accessible to those who have never come across my channel. So if you subscribe to my channel, if you like the video, then because of getting greater subscriptions, because of a particular video getting more subscriptions and likes, YouTube then promotes the channel and that particular video further, and more people have access to the channel, more people have access to the video, and then you, by indirectly, just by subscribing and liking the video, you're indirectly helping others also access those videos. If you are a regular viewer to my channel, which means there must be something good which you see, because of which you come to my channel. And if there is something good, why don't you want others to also access that? What stops you from subscribing to my channel if you are a regular viewer? If you are not a regular viewer, you don't watch my videos, once in a blue moon you watch, then you are not seen as a regular viewer who has not subscribed to my channel. 60% of the people who watch my videos are the regular ones who are not subscribed. So just imagine how much my subscriptions would bump up if you subscribe to my channel, and because of that, how many more people would get access to the video, access to the channel. So please, if you are a regular viewer, if you get something out of my channel, do help the channel also get propagated further, and please allow access to other people also to be able to see these videos and get the same help, same information, same learning that you get, and earn some good karma also out of it. Any good karma, any good action that you do is good enough. Don't think any small action that you do for a good thing will go waste. Everything will come back to you. Now on the topic for today. So today we will be doing sun in the different houses in the D9 chart and come almost to the completion of the planets in houses series for the D9 chart. And in a few weeks we will also complete the planets in different signs in the D9 chart. So there is always these 3-4 series running in parallel, which also allows you to see the placement of a planet in a house and parallelly in the sign as well, rather than waiting for the entire series of planets and houses to get completed before you get access to the planets and signs. So it's important that when you're looking at a planet in a house and a sign, then you are able to get to the bottom of how that planet will behave in a certain sign, which will be conducive to where your placement of the planet is. So having said that, let's jump into the topic of today. Today's topic is very, very important because sun is the soul. And whatever we are doing in this life is for the soul's manifestation, the soul's journey. So let's jump in and see how sun, the soul, will behave in the 12 houses in the D9 chart, because these are more than just the soul journey. There is a karmic denotation also to it, a zodiac denotation also to it, which means sun gets into a placement in a certain house in the D9 chart. There is more to it than meets the eye than what when sun is placed in the D1 chart. And of course we will also relate the placement of sun in any of the houses in the D9 chart, tracking it back to its placement in the D1 chart, because it's important. Yesterday I saw a comment from somebody saying that if my planet is in the Leo sign in the D9 chart, which means obviously it is also placed in the Leo sign in the D1 chart. So it's not true, and I gave that person the reasoning why sun can be in so many placements in the D1 chart, or planet can be in so many placements in a D1 chart. I think she was probably talking about moon or something, and can be placed yet in the same house in the D9 chart in spite of different houses in the D1 chart. So it's important for us to understand that and to relate the placement of the planet in the D9 chart to the placement in the D1 chart. Number of YouTube videos on this platform are not talking about the linkages of, they're just talking about sun in the 10th house and the D9 chart without linking it back to how it gets connected to the D1 chart. So it's very, very important. The linkages are very important. And what I try to do is I give you different combinations. So if I'm talking about sun in the D9 chart, in the 10th house, and if it is placed in the 5th house. For some other planet, I would say moon in the 10th house in the D9 chart. But now I will not go back to the 5th house. I will say, but if moon is placed in the 4th house in the D1 chart. So you get a number of combinations and permutations so that you get more adept at being able to link the placement of a planet in the D9 chart and the D1 chart. See how much effort I take for you guys. You guys don't even subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's jump into sun placed into the different houses in the D9 chart. What is the manifestation for us without wasting any much time and without doing any much ado. So if sun is in the 1st house in the D9 chart, so in this placement the life will be completely revolved around the soul journey. So what does this mean? This means that you need to get your own strength and your influence, because the sun soul has gone into the Lagna, into the 1st house. It means don't depend on others. The zodiac will help you to be able to get your influence and strength if you don't depend on anybody else, but you manifest the strength yourself. Everything in your life has to be around taking responsibility, around taking accountability and being humble rather than being arrogant, taking care of your health, being the leader in every situation that requires someone to spend or some energy or to stand up for others, to use your power and your influence to lead a life of taking a responsibility and taking the lead in different situations in life where the requirement of taking the lead is there. And so it's important to check out the planetary strengths in the D1 chart, as they will always, all of them will lead to what your overall focus should be. So it's very important, especially with sun in the Lagna, you also look at where are the other planets pointing towards, and that area will be manifested the most through your placement of sun in the Lagna in the D9 chart. Now if sun in the D1 chart is in the 6th house, say for example, then this is a life of purpose, responsibility, accountability for others, so that their lives are also uplifted out of troubles, sicknesses, deaths, as the 6th house represents, and it's your job to stand up for that. Now if sun is in the 2nd house in the D9 chart, 2nd house is about nourishment, resources, family, your tribe, your remuneration, your livelihood, your earning, and also how you look at the life around your tribe, around your family and the dependents. Now this means that you need to use your power and influence to take accountability and responsibility for all these areas which the 2nd house represents, and not only for yourself but also for your immediate family, your tribe, and helping others to rise up to taking responsibilities for themselves. This also means taking dignity and pride in providing nourishment for others, taking the lead in finding and collecting resources both for self and others. If you do that, then the zodiac will also help you. If sun, for example, is in the 9th house in the D1 chart, as I said, it's important that you link where the sun is in the D9 chart, in which house, to its placement in the D1 chart. So if it's in the 9th house, for example, then it's important that you use your education, your learning, to provide for the nourishment of your family, your tribe, and take dignity and find self-respect in that. And through that you'll be able to use your education and connect it to nourishment, and through that be able to do the sun's journey, sun's responsibility when sun is placed in the 2nd house in the D9 chart. Now when sun gets into the 3rd house in the D9 chart, what is the 3rd house? It is the house of communication, free will given to you, a blank page given to you to write whatever you want. A house of motivation, a house of self-enterprise, a house of branding, marketing. It is also the soul's manifestation to be a leader in all these areas, because sun has gone into the 3rd house, and take responsibility and accountability for all these areas, which also means that you need to speak up, because the 3rd house is the house of communication and free will, which means of your own accord you need to stand up and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. And that is very important as a soul journey, because sun is in the 3rd house in the D9 chart. It also means, it's not only about speaking, it's also means listening to the advice of others, taking the leadership in getting the learning from others, learning through listening, and then taking responsibility to use that learning, because you have been attentive to use that understanding and standing up for people who are not able to stand up for themselves. If you do that, then the zodiac will help your cause also, and to market the causes for others rather than for own self, which sometimes people may end up doing because they're fending for themselves, and to use your power and your influence to speak for others for a cause. Now connect where sun is in the D1 Lagna chart with its placement in the third house in the D9 chart. So say for example, Sun is in the 10th house in your D1 chart, then it means using your communication of the third house in your D9 chart and using your communication skills, your influencing skills, your branding skills, your marketing skills to be able to stand up for those at work, because now you're connecting it to your career and your work, your karma, and to stand up for your team members and to stand up for your organization. Sometimes maybe you need to stand up for your clients and customers with your own company, also with your own managers as well. And to stand up if you're being bullied by your bosses. Sun is the soul's manifestation. You should stand up for your dignity and your pride, also your self-respect, and sometimes speak up for the management. So your role is to stand up for all those people who have not been able to speak up, or it's your duty to speak up if others are not able to speak in that moment for themselves. And so to use your power and influence and authority at work, and through that manifest Sun's energy in the third house in the D9 chart. Now when Sun is in the fourth house in your D9 chart, what is the fourth house about? Fourth house is about your mother, assets, harmony, peace and tranquility, your mental peace, your domestic happiness, and all of life's conveniences, and of course tangible assets. So this means you need to take the lead, because Sun is the leader, and to use your power and influence and build your power and influence to be able to create a home of harmony and love and affection and peace, of course, and to stand up for your family and take responsibility for their happiness, their mental peace, and to make them feel protected. Then if you do that, then the zodiac will also provide you with the power and influence to help and protect others. And furthermore, and it is your responsibility to also take accountability if things go wrong at home, rather than blaming others and trying to be this lead. You do this, you do that, I told you to do this, why did you do that? That's not your job. You need to take the lead so that things get along and there is peace and harmony at home, and you take the lead in correcting things also, rather than being at the spoiling end. Now connect where Sun is in the fourth house in your D9 chart to where it is in the D1 chart. So if Sun, for example, is in the 12th house in the D1 chart, then defending your family against losses, against waste of efforts, guiding them, advising them, and not to allow anyone to feel alone or abandoned, which the 12th house represents. To use your power and your influence to take the leadership and make everyone feel included. If, say for example, some people are abroad, you are abroad, then making the family feel safe and checking people back home if you are abroad, and making them feel included. And that is the manifestation of Sun getting connected with the placement in the D9 chart to its placement in the D1 chart. Now for example, if Sun is in the 5th house in your D9 chart, what is the 5th house about? Firstly, this is one of the best karmic placements for Sun in the D9 chart, because the 5th house has the Leo sign energies, which is the Mool Trikona sign of Sun and the only sign for Sun. So 5th house in the D9 chart is about the power, the influence and growth at a spiritual level, at the soul's level, rather than at a materialistic level. And so here the other denotations are also about romance, investments, children, changes and opportunities in one's career. But all of these has a higher manifestation. This is not without meaning that soul is getting placed in the 5th house in your D9 chart. So what does this mean? This means that if you take responsibility for all these areas, the soul has to do more in these areas, because that is the role given to you. If you do that, and the zodiac also expects you to take the lead and learn to be able to take care of these areas. So knowing how to read the romantic partner well, how to take responsibility for your romantic partners, and making them feel important, to helping them shine, and so for your kids, and using your artistic abilities to shine in this world and make this world a better place. Of course, through your artistic abilities also you can do that, which Sun represents, brightness in artistic skills. Then the zodiac will help you further, since the zodiac is giving you a stronger manifestation of the soul's journey, because Sun is in the 5th house in the D9 chart. If, for example, now connect the placement of Sun in the D9 chart to its placement in the D1 chart. So if Sun is, for example, in the 8th house in the D1 chart, then protecting those people who are connected to the 5th house in your D9 chart, protecting them, because the 8th house is about sudden issues, sudden challenges, sudden problems. So protecting them against issues, challenges, certain upheavals, and becoming the shield for your partners, for your kids, and to keep their dignity. And when your career goes through ups and downs, to be able to take it in your stride and to be able to plan well ahead. And so this is one of the most karmic denotations, karmic placements when Sun goes into the 5th house in your D9 chart. I also have Sun in the 5th house in my D9 chart. Now Sun in the 6th house in your D9 chart, what does it mean? What does the 6th house stand for? 6th house stands for your prarabdha, also for service and facing challenges, problems, issues, pain, sicknesses, debts, loans, hidden enemies, inimical co-workers. All these areas get manifested for your soul to be able to overcome, so that the soul's journey becomes easier. So the upliftment of the soul happens easier or better or faster when you are taking care of the soul's manifestation in the house it is placed in the D9 chart. So here it means you need to use your power and influence to help others to be able to overcome all the challenges of the 6th house, where themselves they may not be able to face all these challenges, and to take accountability not only for your health but also the health of others. Firstly, immediately family members, those people who you know, maybe your co-workers, maybe people who are working below you. So you may face a situation when you become a manager or leader. There may be people in your team who come and tell you, sir, I'm not feeling well, I need to take a break. Never tell no. If your Sun is in the 6th house in your D9 chart, it is that you need to take care of people who work below you, and their health also becomes your responsibility. And to face competition with the 6th house represents with dignity, humility, and with self-respect. Now connect where Sun is placed in the which house in your D9 chart. Here we are talking about the 6th house with its placement in whichever house it is in the D1 chart. Here let's see if Sun is in the 11th house in the D1 chart, then how it manifests itself. Here it means you need to stand up for a social cause, join a social cause on the larger scale, and to help these causes much beyond the scope of the 6th house. And this means you need to take a lead in your organization, in your neighborhood, and sign up for such causes, and also mobilize people and resources so that you are able to get a mass collective force to be able to help the areas of the 6th house and the 11th house. Now when Sun is in the 7th house in your D9 chart, 7th house is one of the very important placements for Sun, because Sun gets debilitated in the Libra sign, which have the 7th house energies. So one of the most toughest placements for Sun in any houses is Sun placed in the 7th house in the D1 chart, and more so in the D9 chart, because here higher probability of the results coming to you. What does the 7th house stand for? It stands for partnerships, synergies, committed union, relationships, balance, harmony, and sharing. One of the most important elements of the 7th house is to share. So if Sun goes into the 7th house, it is about taking responsibility of all these areas and taking the lead in these relationships and in these synergies, and to be humble. When Sun gets into the 7th house, the biggest challenge for you is to be humble and not make it a personality issue. I said this, you didn't listen to me, or you have to listen to me. So that becomes a part of the equation when Sun gets into the 7th house. And so you need to be humble, and you need to take the lead for the betterment and growth of these partnerships, and for them to feel that you will stand up for them, you will take accountability for them, you will make the partnership feel safe, you will make the partner feel safe. So stand up for your partner and be more balanced in how you treat others, to use your power and influence in their growth, and also to make them feel nourished as well. Now connect where Sun gets placed in the 7th house in the D9 chart to its placement in the D1 chart. So say for example Sun goes into the 5th house in your D1 chart, then use your partnerships to do better in the areas of the 5th house, which means to use your ability to be able to make partnerships, to be able to make synergies, and to take the lead in forming relations to be getting better results in your romantic life, with your children, in timely changes to your career and your job. So 7th house relationship, 5th house romance, 5th house children, 5th house changes in career. So use your relationship, your synergies to be able to handle these things. So if there is a change in career which suddenly comes up, use your relationship to find a new job, or to retain the job, or to grow in your job, or to get the power and influence in your job, and to create those situations, or to find out those which will help you to make the transition from one career to another smoothly and responsibly. Now if the sun is in this 8th house in your D9 chart, the 8th house is the house of mysteriousness, mysteries of life, tribulations, obstacles, life and death, upheavals, sudden problems, transformations, sudden changes. So when sun goes into the 8th house, it is about facing these challenges with responsibility, with accountability, and taking the lead and using your power and influence to able to help others, not only to stand up for yourself about the matters of the 8th house. And this is the soul's manifestation to understand life's deep mysteries through standing up to the challenges courageously and with dignity, and not to lose your composure, not to misuse your power in these troubled times, but to understand life deeply and to use these experiences to get better resilience and to be able to face life better. Now connect where sun is placed in your D1 chart and which house it is. Say for example it is placed in another moksha bhava, because 8th house is one moksha bhava. Sun gets into the 12th house in the D1 chart. Then it is a path to moksha itself, as both houses of moksha are getting connected. And the more deeply you understand life and its challenges, the better you will be able to defeat death through living on through your work, in such a manner that your name keeps shining long after you're gone, and to face losses of the 12th house, the ups and downs of the 12th house, the excesses of the 12th house, the waste of the 12th house which comes suddenly to you, but to be prepared with your dignity, with your self-respect intact, and to be able to helping others nevertheless, to take the losses in your stride and to take more responsibility for your actions, and through that being able to raise your soul, elevate your soul to maybe get even moksha itself. Now if sun is in the 9th house in your D9 chart, what is the 9th house about? 9th house is about learning, acquiring knowledge, higher learning, your faith and belief, experiential learning, which means learning from your experiences, even challenges and problems in life, long distance travel, gurus, your father. So when sun goes into the 9th house in your D9 chart, it is about taking lead and taking the responsibility for your own learning, rather than saying my teachers didn't teach me, my father didn't teach me, what kind of teachers did I get, they are so difficult. No, the responsibility of learning is yours. The soul has been given the responsibility to learn and to have the deep faith and belief in your learning, your education, and take the lead in using that knowledge and to spread that knowledge and learning rather than to keep it to yourself, and to deepen your faith and belief further through life's bitter experiences and hold on to your faith almost as a duty. Then the zodiac helps you further in the spiritual manifestation of your faith. Now connect the placement of sun in the D9 chart in the house of learning to where sun is placed in your D1 chart. Say for example sun is placed in the lagna itself, in the first house itself in the D1 chart. Now this is the gift given by the zodiac to use your education, to use life's learnings, to use life experiences, to lift yourself up in the society and to grow and to be used and to use these in to manifest your life's goals and to know the purpose of life and to manifest these energies in your purpose of life, because Lagna is your purpose of life, your goals, where you're going to head, where you're going to act, and how you're going to turn up in life. So a very spiritual energy, 9th house getting connected to the Lagna. If you have this placement, D9 chart and D1 chart, use this energy well because it is a gift given to you by the zodiac. Now if sun is in the 10th house in your D9 chart, this is the very strong, powerful placement of the sun, because firstly sun gets highest directional strength in the 10th house in your D1 chart, and the 10th house is also the house of karma, the house of Saturn, rules, regulations. Sun is the king which lays down rules and regulations. So when sun gets into the 10th house is about your duty, your commitment, your career, your karma, your ability to be able to follow rules and regulations, follow authority, to be able to lead others, and also lead others through your karma, to be able to manifest your karma and your work, and to take accountability for your work and using the resources which are thrown up through your work, through your karma, through your career, and to use those resources that your work offers to create a more harmonious life. This is the wealth given to you through your karma itself and helped by the zodiac itself. And so taking leadership at work is important, it's needed, and to practice humility in your learning and to perform your karma better through the resources given to you, through the authority given to you, through the power and influence given to you through your karma, through your work, when sun goes into the 10th house in the D9 chart. Now since sun is your soul, this is a very karmic placement to manifest your soul journey through your work and achievements. Now connect where sun goes into which house it is in the D9, from the D9 placement to where it gets connected in the D1 chart. Say for example, sun is in the 5th house in your D1 chart. So this means facing, because now sun is 10th house in your D9 chart and got 8th to the 5th house in your D1 chart. So sun has gone 8th to itself. So this means facing the upheavals in your career, your work, your karma, and taking the responsibility to further better your karma and to take accountability for the consequences at your work. Then if you do that, then the zodiac also helps you achieve through your soul's karma, through the changes, through the challenges, through the transformation, so that ultimately the soul itself will have a reason for its existence. Now if sun is in the 11th house in your D9 chart, what is the 11th house about? The 11th house is about social causes, social upheavals, social connection. It is also an upachaya house, which means it grows with time. This is also your social network, your social life, societal connections, large organizations, gains, your wishes and desires, and of course working for social causes. So here, when the sun goes into the 11th house, it is about how you use your leadership skills, your power and influence to help societal causes at a large level, at a mass level. And this is how at a soul's level you will be able to relate to societal upliftment and take the responsibility for it and use your social skills, which the 11th house represents, and your network to work for the upliftment for at least one cause or more. Now how well will you be able to do that? For that, connect where sun is placed in which house in the D1 chart. Say for example, sun is placed in the 2nd house in your D1 chart. Then this is about using your ability to earn resources, which the 2nd house represents your nourishment, and collect those resources, generate resources, or bring together like-minded people who can pool their resources to help some social cause of the 11th house placement of sun in the D9 chart. How you can use your influence in your community, in your social circle, to work for some large cause and bring about an effective change in this placement. Now when sun goes into the 12th house in your D9 chart, the 12th house is a very, very important house, because any planet which is going into the 12th house in your D9 chart, which means the planet is helping you for your soul's elevation into the hereafter, into the hereafter life. So the 12th house being the house of spirituality, working alone, solitude, foreign lands, foreign service, armed forces, waste and excess, MNCs, working in MNCs, working in foreign governments, hospitals, clinics, number of things which are hidden from you, all these get manifested. So sun in the 12th house being a very special placement in the D9 chart, because it is helping you to be able to manifest the soul journey into the hereafter, because that is what the soul is here, to elevate itself in the hereafter, into the next world, into the next realm. So it is a boon given to those who have sun, especially in good signs also in the D9 chart, to be able to elevate the soul, but through a life of complete servitude to the soul, and manifest a life in the hereafter, even at the cost of giving up and losing your material resources and assets in this material world. So see how the sun is placed in your D1 chart and connected to the 12th house. Let's say the sun is placed in the Lagna in the D1 chart, which means entire life should be dedicated to the upliftment of those people who are downtrodden, the weak ones, and those who are spiritually less inclined, and to use your power, authority, your influence to leave a strong legacy behind, where you will be remembered long after you are gone, because your soul will be getting onto a journey into the hereafter through your work, through your Lagna, through helping other people who are down and out and who are the most forgotten people in society, and to use your service or to do service cutting across races, national boundaries, and to do spiritual work. And through that, elevation of the soul will be possible for you and is almost given to you. So friends, now that we have talked about how sun in the 12 houses in the D9 chart will manifest in different ways, getting connected to the houses in the D1 chart, please understand your sun's placement in the D9 chart connected to your D1 chart, see which signs they are placed, and understanding it better, use this energy to be able to manifest the soul's journey, the soul's elevation, because sun is your soul. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link given below. Till some other time, with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.